Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 Titans schedule is out. We're going to have lots and lots and lots to talk about today. Let's not waste a minute. Shane, start us up.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Talking Titans.
With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback, Miami.
The sickest Tennessee Titans podcast. Sick! It's gonna be sick.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Sick Podcast. Talking Titans, joined always by my counterpart, Jarett. Jarett, how we doing tonight, brother?
You seem a lot better than me, man. You're more energetic. You just got off of work. I mean, you're on a high right now.
I am on a high. You know, I'm going to Dominican Republic next week. I'm pretty excited about that.
Hey, what's something to live about?
Yeah, Sal's going on vacation for the first time in like 2 years, so that'll be good. My cousin's getting married out there, so it's a
Caribbean vibe. Hell yeah.
Yeah, two birds with one stone. Little wedding, little vacation. It's exciting, but even more exciting than that, Jarett, as always, it's that time of the year where the schedule comes out and we get to do all our sort of, just kind of
raving, crying, exactly. Not crying.
Exactly. Just like mock drafts, we get to mock our schedule up too. And we're going to do something close to that at least, maybe a little bit quicker than most would do it. But we're going to go through these games at least a little bit and talk about what we think about when we're going to be facing these people in the coming future. But let's just jump right into it. Why not? We found out a little bit early last night about what week one is, or maybe it was 2 nights ago. Yeah, it was 2 nights ago. We found out the excellent matchup we're going to have week one. So let's just jump right the fuck into it, Jarett. We got freaking Bo Nix and Sean Payton on the road to start our season with Cam Ward. Titans at Broncos. I mean, part of me would be like, oh, shit, I don't want to. But at the same time, like, why not? Why not we start off with a fucking tough opponent, man? Yep. If we got the new guy that's going to take us to the promised land, like, I don't want to cut any corners. We got to beat the best to be the best. So let's take a second-year kid who is all over the place in a good way last year, and go toe-to-toe with an AFC team that has, honestly, they're probably thinking they have Super Bowl aspirations, if they take a step from last year with Bo Nix, if they think he's as good as I think he is. So what are your thoughts on the week one matchup?
Yeah, solid matchup. I mean, listen, if Cam Ward's Cam Ward the way he's supposed to be, but not how the media is portraying him as, because he is the least talked about number one overall pick. The NFL clearly, before I get into the Broncos, clearly everybody was talking about it. No respect at all for Cam Ward. Having no primetime games. I mean, it's a snub. So what? You're getting older. Us fans, we would love to see a Monday night, a Sunday night. I can care less about Thursday nights because they're useless. But just a primetime game for the number one overall pick is something. Caleb Williams got 3 last year. Now Cam Ward has nothing. So that's another fire that's lit under Cam Ward's ass because he went from a 0-star to now the number one overall pick. So I'm fine with that. Keep doubting Cam Ward and our Titans. To give him on the road in Denver against this solid defense, it's a test. But you know what? He was tested in Miami, and if this was Will Levis going into week one at Denver, I'd have another stance on this. But I think it's a good matchup. We have who's the linebacker? What's his name again? Cody, what's his name? Who signed in free agency? He wore the green dot last year for Denver.
Oh.
The linebacker we just picked up in free agency.
Yeah, no.
I forgot his name. I'll get it. I'll get it. But
we'll get it.
He was the green dot for that Broncos defense last year. So I mean that's going to be a huge help, especially for Cam Ward. And the way they keep talking about Cam Ward being in this offense, going to be their plug and play. I see it as a positive. If it's a close game, that's great. Going into week 2 against the Rams at home as a home opener, I'm fine with this.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Jarett. Let's get this out of the way now because it's obviously one of the biggest topics of discussion. Cody Barton, thank you, Shane, being on top of it as always. Let's get this out of the way. Obviously, it's no secret now that the Tennessee Titans do not have a single primetime game. And Jarett, I don't remember a year this team hasn't had a primetime game since I've been a Fanatic. Mm-hmm. And, I'm talking Fanatic, and that's been 15 plus years now. So, it's shocking. It's a spit in the face to even, but here's the reality of it. And there's no there's really no excuses for it. We should have had at least one, but I also understand why they didn't. And here's why. No matter who the quarterback is, no matter what they pick, Nashville is not a pro sports team or a pro sports town for football. It's just not. People honestly still probably care more about the Predators right now than they do the Titans. So if you're not going to get as many eyeballs on the screen as possible, why would you put them on? You know, I still think it's a slap in the organization's face and in the group of diehards that we have. Obviously, we're part of it and a lot of our watchers are. But, I mean, I understand it from a business aspect. I mean, there's a reason why CJ – I mean, but then again, at the other end of it, they're CJ Stroud, that they were terrible the year before. And Houston, I guess, is still technically more of a football town for pro than we are because they've had a team longer than we have between Oilers and now Texans. But it's just – it doesn't make any sense. But the great news is to all of us and all you listening is if we are as good as we think we could be, it's not going to be an issue anymore. If Cam Ward be a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League like we drafted him to be, then we're going to have 4 or 5 every year. You know, this year we're just going to have to prove why we should have gotten one. And if we do, well, there's going to be nothing they can do about it because, you know, the eyeballs are going to want to be on the stars. And if Cam's a star, it doesn't matter if we play in Alaska, people are going to tune in. And that's what we have to hope for. So I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I said Cameron Ward's got to prove yet again the NFL and everybody else that he's the guy. And like I said, give him a year, give him 2 years because this team is definitely on the rise with the right signal caller right now. So
absolutely,
I'm happy with that.
Second week at home, probably the game we will be in attendance for if all the stars align, and there's not going to be many that need to. So going to be home to the Rams, another incredible matchup. We are starting off with high levels of competition in both conferences. Rams home, Matt Stafford, Sean McVay and company. Obviously not going to be an easy one, Jared. I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, I mean, they got Devontae Adams now coming over, especially with Puka now. So, I mean, Kyrie Williams especially. So, it's going to be a tough task for our defense back-to-back weeks. But like I said, with Cam Ward at the helm, no game is impossible right now. So, I mean – right away with the Rams, I mean, I don't like how we're getting into this now, and then we're going to go 3 in a row on the road, and then we have 5 4:00 starts. So, I mean, the schedule doesn't help us out like that. But, you know,
I'm going to change my schedule. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the 4:00 games too as well. I mean, but that's just brutal. But the Rams, they're a shaky team. You know, they're good some weeks and not. Like I'm saying, no roster is set right now in stone. The way we look at it right now, yeah, they may have an edge like the Broncos right now. I think they're 7-point favorites currently as we speak on FanDuel. So, I mean, no one's giving us credit at all. But like, this is a favorable matchup too at home, I believe, or for a home opener.
It should be. And here's the reality of the situation. And I think a lot of you would agree, at least a good chunk of you, even those of you that don't like to agree with me. If, and it's a big if, because obviously the money says we still have a long way to go, even if Cam Ward is good. But if this is going to be a situation like the Commanders had last year, in which a team which they didn't even really think they were a quarterback away wound up being just a quarterback away, as are we, then we should be winning about 5 of the next 6 before the bye week. You know, I'm just going off the cuff here. In Houston, okay, let's go. In Arizona, who the fuck knows? In Vegas, home to New England, Vrabel, that should be, forget it. In Indianapolis, these are games, if Cam Ward is better than anyone we've ever seen at the position in the last 20 years for this team, these are games that should flip our way now, that never, ever did.
Absolutely.
Right? I think you would agree.
Flip our way, and it's going to be contingent on the defense, too, as well. I mean, you have Jarrett Sneed. You have Brownlee Jr. now going in Cheeto's spot. So, and there's a couple – I forgot one of the cornerbacks that we picked up in the draft as well. So, he's going to slide in there, too. And you have no idea what the safety from Penn State, how his health is. So, we have a loaded secondary that's going to help us, perform in these games. So if Cam Ward's holding the ball, we're not going 3 and out, we're driving down the field and scoring touchdowns, not field goals. Like you said, those games that we were close, 6 or 3 we were losing by, we're going to flip this now and to Cam Ward. And like you said, the tough stretch is right there, in my opinion. You have Texans, Cardinals, Raiders, you have the Patriots, and then you have the Colts. You have 4 games out of 5 that are away. But the schedule gets kind of favorable towards the end of the season. You have all your games. You have all your games at home too. I mean, you have the Chiefs in Week 16, but you know what? We've had the Chiefs number in the recent years. In 2020 and 2019 when we had those good teams. But like I said, like you're saying, if Cam Ward's that guy, he's going to be standing toe to toe with Patrick Mahomes and the Seahawks with Sam Darnold now, who are technically, in my opinion, maybe fraud still. We don't know.
Yeah. But one thing we're not going to do this time, which we've obviously both said numerous times at this point, is we're not going to speak in the past tense as if these things are already in place. Meaning like, oh yeah, no, of course, we're probably going to beat Arizona on the road, and we're not putting out 9-win. We're not doing a prediction just yet. No more. We may tease you, but we're going to do a prediction, but not just yet. Not just yet, man. And even when we actually do the real one, I'm going to be so. Oh, me too. I just can't handle it anymore. I just can't do it. And beyond handling it, the embarrassment that comes with it of, having that shit on your digital footprint saying. How did you have them at 11 wins this year? Dude, whenever I need a good laugh, I watch our shows from like 13 months ago when we're talking like Will Levis is going to put us in play for the AFC Championship. God. That's what hardcore fans believe. Okay, and like I said, if you're not a hardcore fan like us and you don't think that Cam Ward can win you the Super Bowl, you're crazy. But we've been burned so many times with quarterbacks that we said we're going to set this back and we're going to let him work. We're talking like Brian Callahan was going to be Andy Reid, and maybe Will Levis. Maybe Will Levis was that person holding everything back. That's what I'm saying. We're going to watch this year and see how everything goes. Listen, the one thing I can feel very confident in saying is that we're going to get better quarterback play than Will Levis. Oh, Cam Ward is a better quarterback than Will Levis day one without Cam Ward taking one snap. I think your Twins would probably put up a fair fight against Will Levis in training camp. The way he looked during the regular season, he was a complete joke, just a complete collapsing chair a game. So we got that going for us, you know. And we know Cam Ward is not going to fold under the pressure. If he's the guy, he's going to be the guy. If he's not the guy, he's not going to be the guy. I don't think, in my opinion, that this guy's going to need a bunch of coaching and to sit behind someone. And, we don't need to treat this guy like a baby. He's either going to be a star number 1 pick or he's going to be a complete bust. And there shouldn't be much, training wheels involved. That's what I think. Who knows? But, this schedule is really, if he's a number 1 caliber type player and he's not Bryce Young and he's not Caleb, if he's Jaden, if he's Stroud, this is a great schedule. It's a great schedule, absolutely. And like I said, we talked about those 3 not hard games, but 3 tough games. You're on the road. You're going to Houston, and then you're both going to the West Coast with the Cardinals, Raiders, and then you come home to the Patriots. Right after the Colts game, we're home for 5 straight weeks. We have a bye. We don't have a week 4 bye again. We have a bye smack dead right in the middle of the season, which I absolutely love now. Yep. So you have the Chargers, you're home, the bye, you're home, Texans, Seahawks, Jaguars. 5 straight weeks you don't have to travel. Winnable games. They're all winnable games, absolutely, with him at the and then you got the Browns, the 49ers. Like I said, this schedule for a rookie quarterback, we have no primetime games, but it's very favorable in our aspect. Yeah, and again, a little added bonus that I mentioned when I threw the video up last night. Like, if there's anybody that I, as an opponent or as anyone that's going to be going against this kid, I don't know if I'd give him any more bulletin board material than he needs. Obviously, he said, I'm going to make any team that passes me regret it. Well, nobody passed on him. So you can't get that out of it. But giving this kid no primetime games like he deserves a primetime game. The number 1 overall pick should at least get one. It's a slap in the face. And the little bit this fucking league has spoke about him, they always bring up how nothing to something. That's always the promo. If they give you a 13-second video about the kid, is how he came from a 0 recruit to the number 1. Well, he became a number 1 pick to give Tennessee no primetime games for the first time in over a decade.
Right.
I mean, it's stupid. And you got to hear these morons that are in charge of this whole thing say, well, you play your way into a primetime game. You don't draft okay, dude. I mean,
that's fine.
You've been living under a rock for the last 5 years?
He's also put up better numbers than Caleb Williams in his last season too. So I mean, it's just the hype. It's just the franchise, like you said. Nashville isn't as sexy as everybody thinks, but everybody wants to come to our stadium and our destination. You know, that's just the thing. But like I said, the fire is lit under Cam Ward, and like he needs anything else above him. He's been doubted. He's been doubted before. He's overcome adversity so many times. He's been in games in Miami where he was down tremendously, especially to Cal this past year. And he came storming all the way back. So he can show that, they may be down, but he can come right back. So that's prime time worthy in itself. The guy has so much firepower. And like I said, let him prove himself to the world. Let him prove himself to us. We don't need primetime games during the regular season. What we need is the primetime games in January and February when it really counts. So that's what I'm looking forward to, hopefully, this year.
And then what we really need, and this is very important, it really is, for a lot of reasons. What we need, Jarett, is we need some 10-year-old boys to be in love with this football team. We need to build this fan base up.
Absolutely.
Because right now, our fan base is like we almost feel like we're in a different league at some points, because I shouldn't know every fucking person I see as a Titan fan on TV. Like literally the draft, every time there's Titan fans on a national platform, I know them. I've had conversations with them. That's crazy, because we have a fan base of about it feels like 1,000 people in comparison to all these others that have millions of fans. Now, I understand it. This team's only 25 years old, but it wasn't that way around its inception. And what's going to change that? What's going to get these young men involved in with this team and become fans and have kids that they raise to be fans of this team? Cam Ward being a superstar that wins you a couple championships.
Yep. And the jersey sales, you're going to see the kids start wearing Cam Ward jerseys. That's what we hope and pray for, man, especially with this new stadium. That's what we hope and pray for, that this kid is legendary and brings, like you said, you are right. We lack, the Steelers type, the Chiefs type, the 49ers. I mean, the Cowboys are the Cowboys. They haven't been relevant for damn near 25, 30 years, and they get 6 primetime games just because of the simple fact that Jerry Jones and the star on the helmet. That's what pisses me off, stuff like that. And they think they have fans all over the place. But, watching the Dallas Cowboys on TV getting waxed every week, versus, having Cam Ward, prove himself against, the Patriots, that whole storyline between Mike Vrabel and, Vrabel, comes to Nashville, Cam Ward beats him. That's a great storyline for Monday Night Football or anything, but no, oversee that. But that's, like I said, that's not a problem. But this schedule is very favorable for us all. Well, I really like what I see here.
I do have a feeling there's going to be a couple young men in the state of New Jersey that will be rocking some number 1 jerseys. Might have the last name.
2 or 3. I got 2 or 3 of them. So
there you go. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. Let's do one of our new favorite segments. That again, I gotta give all the credit to Jarett, where we try to stump each other with Titan players. I'm 0 for 2. No, yeah, I'm 0 for 2. Jarrett's half for 2.
Yeah, I'm
half. You got the last name. No, wait, you got the first one too, I think. Did you get the first one?
No. First week was me. Last week was your first.
Oh, that's right.
So I got a half.
Now we're both doing it. We're both doing it now. All right. Why don't
you can get the honors? You can get the honors this week. I'm going to go first with your player.
Meaning with the one you
I'll
pick?
guess. No, I'll guess.
Okay. All right, Shane. Let him have it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is a good one. He's a running back. I know that. Ooh.
You're slow rolling it. I know you are.
No, I'm not. You got me on
right.
this one.
He is a running back. I'll tell you how many games he played for us, because I'm making sure they're always like at least 30. He played 34 games for us. Only did not play for any other team from 2014 to 2016.
2014 to 2016.
He got enough snaps to where I'm like, once you hear the name, you're going to be like,
oh, of course. I'm just trying to think of all the running backs right now in that time frame. I think you got me.
You want me? I'll give you the usual. I'll give you the initials.
Okay.
Is that it's AA?
AA.
Yes.
Antonio Edwards.
Close. Antonio Andrews.
Andrews. Yes, that's right.
Very close.
Yes,
so
you got me.
I'll give you a fraction. Well, listen, I thought I was gonna be good at this. I think I'm gonna be fucking horrible at this.
No, I mean the whole thing is like you don't want to get a cupcake in there, so you want to think a little bit. You don't want to think a little bit. All right, let's see if I can stump Sal with this one. Shane, throw it up there.
Oh my God, I can't see the guy, but I'm gonna assume that's Stephen Tulloch.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
I mean, that's not easy.
That was the
I can't
best,
fucking see the guy.
That was the best Stephen Tulloch picture I could have gotten.
I mean, the number's the only thing. Otherwise, I can't see his face.
The patch. A
couple black dudes who played for the Titans in the last 50 years, so that's gonna be tough.
At linebacker, hey, listen, he played 5 whole seasons. He was a green dot captain for us. I mean, I hated when he went to the Lions, but man, he was a tackling machine for us at one point.
Yeah, Stephen Tulloch was a dog.
Yeah,
definitely a guy that just a guy that loved football. He played every fucking down. Yeah, that's a name you heard a lot. Definitely heard a lot.
And we need somebody to step up like that this year for the Titans too.
Yes, we do. And I'm telling you, before we wrap up, one guy that I just
don't say it.
I know. I don't want to.
I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with you.
But you're gonna know. You probably know where I'm going.
Yeah.
It's this kid from UCLA, man. He looks like everything you see. Like he just plays the part of someone that is already a star in the league, and obviously he could not be. But there are a lot of times where if you walk the walk, in the NFL, you usually talk the talk too. You know what I mean? Or I said that the wrong way. You know what I mean? When you talk the talk, you walk the walk. And this guy looks like, first of all, as far as physically, I mean, he's one of the scariest individuals.
A fucking chiseled statue.
He's Derrick Henry. I mean, he's pretty much Derrick Henry. I'd love to see their height and weight together. But Femi, man,
his legs are enormous. Tree trunks, dude.
If he is half as good as the way he looks like he could be, that's going to be what we needed. And then we'll give all the praise to the brass that brought him in here, because a lot of people said second round might have been a little high for him because he's somewhat of a project, doesn't have a ton of time on the edge. Mm-hmm. But, sky's the limit, and he's obviously comfortable. He's obviously a guy that I think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see he's going to get time immediately. That's a position that we needed desperately. And he'll get time week 1 to start making an impact. So I'm excited for him. Yeah,
raw talent. You see him on the mic, especially so confident. Even when the rookies, when he was talking to Fossil, the special teams coach, he's sitting there yapping, telling everybody don't run on my field and everything for the rookies. That's leadership. Hopefully he brings that, and maybe he turns into a Jason Pierre-Paul, raw and explosive right off the gate. I mean, we need it, especially in that room, and maybe hopefully we get another edge player, come the end of the summer here when people start getting cut, because that room still needs to be addressed.
Give me Keith Bullock, give me somebody like that. I don't need Lawrence Taylor, man. I'm sorry for those of you that we're way up. Harold Landry's behind. He doesn't have big shoes to fill, man. He has an opportunity to be someone very coveted on this team and might get an extension quick if he can get to the quarterback a couple times when it counts. Harold Landry wasn't the worst player of all time, but my biggest thing with him is all his sacks were I couldn't remember one meaningful sack of his in the last 3 years. I know he was hurt in one of them, but most of his career, he hasn't been a guy that you can lean on and say on a 3rd and 8, he's going to get a sack, and we need that guy. And hopefully Femi is that guy. We'll have to see. What time will tell. But I think we're gonna close it up for tonight. We're gonna make sure to give you we're gonna dive into every game individually at some point.
Oh yeah, of course.
Do our full schedule, predictions and things of that nature. And obviously, you've seen Cam Ward in the colors for the first time over the past week. There'll be lots more clips to get into, lots more things to dive into as far as what the media is saying. Obviously, a lot of people are saying Restrepo looks as polished as anyone. We already thought he would probably make the roster, but that seems almost like a lock at this point. So some great stuff we're going to be able to talk about, and we're obviously going to keep you guys up to date on everything. But anything, Jarett, before we close out? Anything you want to throw on?
No, that's it, buddy. Enjoy the vacation. Things are heating up in Titans camp, and it's about that time when the weather starts turning to hot. We're almost at football season, so
Absolutely, man. It'll be here before you know it. Preseason week 1 will be here any minute. I believe we open in Tampa, and I have an uncle that lives in Tampa, so I'm already my brain's working a little. We'll see, but it's gonna be fun. As always, guys, we'll make sure to keep you up to date with everything. Hoping to have some good guests on the next couple months to start diving into these logistics of the team, and that's it, chat. So said chat, man. I always got to throw one work chat in there because I can't get off the camera no matter what I do. So, guys, hope everyone has a great rest of their week. And as always, tighten up. Shane, send us on out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Talking Titans on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.